Hey guys, this is week 4, and I chose scenario 2 with Sam Collins. And his experience is he's been teaching in the science classroom for 6 years, and his instruction style is already well received by students and by administration. So what this tells me is he's already a good teacher, and he's been asked to rework his class into an online format. So there are some things that he would need to consider, and I try to think of this from my perspective and how I would approach this if I were asked to do the same thing. So we want the online format to be arranged in a way where authentic learning can still take place. We want to make sure that there's real life problem solving and complex thinking to go along with that. So you want your task to be complex. There's some things that I would probably have in place before the course began, and then there are things that I would make sure to do while the course was going on. So the first thing I would do before the course begins is create a syllabus, which has basically all your information that you need for the course, everything you would need to know, all of your expectations, learning goals and objectives, any resources or tools that students would need to be successful in the class, how to access the website they would be using, or maybe some troubleshooting tips if they ran into a problem, how to communicate with the instructor, whether that's by email or by phone call, and then how to interact with fellow classmates, because remember, we want collaboration to be a big part of our online course. Just to create that authentic learning experience. And also grading policies, I would include that as well. The second thing I would do is develop a course schedule and go ahead and have this in place before the course actually begins. And you want to have sequenced assignments to make sure that your modules are in sequence and due dates are already set, and that students would have an expectation of what to expect for assessments and how that would happen during the course. And the third thing, as a teacher, you would have to decide how are you going to introduce each module or each topic. So you would have to decide if you wanted to have a video to introduce that module, or notes or templates or something, just to give them some scaffolding, especially at the beginning of the course. During the online course, so after you've established your syllabus and your course schedule, then during the course you want to make sure, and our text mentioned a lot of these things in detail, but I would make sure to get to know my learners. So have some way for them to interact with each other, and you can get to know maybe background knowledge, maybe some locations, where they are, the diversity of your class, just to let you know how to better reach those students and make the learning relevant to them. You want to make your task complex. So our text mentioned having a single task over a sustained period of time, and make sure that it involves complex thinking. So that way, whatever the assessment is, they'll be prepared for the assessment. Also give prompt feedback, constant feedback to your learners so they can make sure they're on the right track, especially if it's their first time taking an online course. And then, of course, you want to encourage collaboration, interaction, and reflection throughout the course.